All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And Charles, tonight has been absolutely phenomenal, and we're going to end it with a bang tonight. We're going to throw it back up to Chris, get the introduction of the title fight. If you're watching at home on GoSports.com, this has been absolutely phenomenal. CageZilla 50 is coming out with a bang right now. Let's throw it up to Chris.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Making his way to the cage and fighting out of the red corner, it's James Neville.
The Showtime, Neville, my man, 6 foot, 27 years old, fighting out of Disciple MMA. And you can tell this entire arena is here for Mr. Neville. With a record of 8-2, he's ranked number 2 in Virginia in the middleweight division.
You know, this is a short notice fight for James. He had missed weight, but I think that could be indicative of that fact that he's jumping in. He's stepping in for Dustin Buxton, who had to withdraw, and this would allow James to become a 2-time CageZilla lightweight champion. He's the current middleweight champion. I'm sorry, two-time light heavyweight champion, and he's the current middleweight champion. He's fought as heavy as heavyweight and as light as middleweight.
I mean, James is just an amazing fighter every time we've seen him out here. He does not like to lose. This isn't the guy that gets excited. You're like, all right, hey, I'll get you next time. James Neville comes out here to put some punishment on people. And fighting out of Disciple MMA, we've talked about the Disciple guys before. Being here from the inception of CageZilla back when we were Operation Octagon, this guy is the real deal.
No, he most certainly is. You know, and I mean, I got to think that at a certain point, man, he could go pro. You know, he's the number 2 ranked amateur middleweight in Virginia. And, you know, his ability to fight in multiple weight classes and have success in multiple weight classes is probably indicative that, you know, he might, after this fight, be looking for that next level.
Yeah, and 6 of his 8 wins have been by submission. So if you get caught sleeping or you get caught just for a second not paying attention, James Neville's going to put it on you. He's going to sink an arm in deep under your neck, under your chin. He's going to put an arm in a bad spot, an ankle in a bad spot. You're going to get triangled. He's very, very diverse in how he puts you out in these submissions.
Look, he's got great takedowns. He has excellent top pressure, and he puts you in a position where you want to be vulnerable and you want to tap out. And there's a lot of people who try to do that, but not a lot of people who can.
And after he lost his first fight, he went on a 6-win streak. So it's like, you know what? I'm tired of this. I didn't like that feeling, so watch how I feel from here on out. Let's throw it back up to Chris.
And his opponent, making his way to the cage and fighting out of the blue corner, it's Logan Dye.
The Lullaby, my man Logan Dye, 6 foot, 195, 23 years of age, out of Ryoma Academy in Frostburg, Maryland, right? He's 2-0, and he's ranked 14th in Virginia. 14th in the middleweights, Charles. That's still not shabby.
No, not at all. Not at all. You know,
this dude wants to hurt you.
Yeah, we've seen Logan before, and he brings a lot to the table. He's very strong. He is very powerful, and his shots hurt you. You know, he's given up a lot of experience, though. You know, James has got 10 fights. Logan has 2, and he only fought once in 2016 and once at the end of 2017. And this is his first fight of 2018. So it's going to be interesting to see how he deals with that. You know, over the course of those years, he's been training. He's been learning new skills. Is he up to date on his takedown defense? Is he going to be able to utilize his uppercuts properly? Ryoma MMA is an excellent academy, and they tend to have their guys prepared. So I believe he wouldn't take this fight unless he had that confidence.
Now, and Logan's going to want to stay on his feet here because of the submissions that Neville has shows and he's showed in the past. If I'm Dye, I'm staying on my feet. The last 2 fights I've had, both been TKO by punches. I've been knocking dudes out, so why would I try anything different?
Right.
The only difference is we're talking about an experienced Neville and only 2 fights under his belt, Logan Dye.
And, you know, one of the biggest advantages that James is going to have isn't even just the wrestling, the jiu-jitsu, or the boxing, whatever it is. It's going to be the cage awareness. You know, when these guys lock up in the clinch up against the cage, this is where James is going to have the biggest advantage. I believe that Logan can stop the takedowns. I believe that Logan can do his game plan, which is punches and uppercuts.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. This bout is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds, and it is for the vacant CageZilla light heavyweight title. Starting out, fighting out of the red corner, standing 6 foot tall and weighing in at 205 pounds, fighting out of Disciple MMA with a record of 8 wins and 2 losses, it's James Neville!
Neville only missed weight by 2 pounds. It's not like it's a crazy miss. Neville in the red corner.
His opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, standing 6 foot tall and weighing in at 205 pounds, fighting out of virginiamma MMA with a perfect 2-0 record, it's Logan Dye!
And Logan Dye, he only fought once in 2016 and once in 2017.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. It is for the vacant CageZilla light heavyweight title. Here is referee Michael Dolman for the fighter instructions.
This is for the vacant title, right? Any questions? Good luck to you, gentlemen.
Michael Dolman, the referee. This is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds, as you heard the instructions for the vacant title tonight. We'll get the cage all locked up. Chris makes his way over to the table. Michael Dolman's going to go around and check with the judges, make sure everything is good, wants to make sure that the dock is good and make sure that everybody's in their proper spot, because this is the main event. Live on GoSports.com. What a great fight and what a great event this has been so far. Both fighters out touching gloves right on the CageZilla logo.
Good hard leg kick from Logan. You know, one thing we want to point out here, good countering from Logan. One thing we want to point out is that there's a significant weight difference. James cut weight to get to 205. Logan weighed in at 195, 10 pounds under the limit. Beautifully timed takedown from James. He didn't really like those shots that he was taking, and he put the fight where he wanted it.
Yeah, he definitely saw that, and this is where he wants to be. Neville likes the mat. He doesn't want to stand up there and throw blows with Logan Dye. He's seen the last 2 wins. Watch how quick he just got him on the ground, and now he's going to go to work.
Yeah, absolutely. He's working on passing in the half guard, and then once he clears that, he's actually holding Logan's leg with his own hand, and now he's going to start coming up and working his underhooks to further clear that leg and get his hips across.
And this is where the weight advantage comes into a huge difference here.
Yeah,
because you got a guy laying on you. I mean, 208 pounds. I mean, that's a huge difference when you're only 190, 195.
Well, and you know the other thing is that that's what James weighed in at. So you have to think that he's probably walking around a little bit closer to 220. So
yeah,
this
after
could
the
very well
cheeseburgers
be,
after the weigh-in.
You know, that's, I mean, listen, that's how you put the weight back on, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be a 20, 25-pound difference here between these two guys.
And this is a long fight, a marathon that we talk about. These title fights are 3 5-minute rounds. So if guys who get out here in these first rounds, you know, we think they're exhausting themselves, but we've seen Neville go the distance a couple of times, and that is a long time for bigger guys.
No, it absolutely is. It absolutely is. And it becomes a little easier when you're able to stay in control and take the fight to the ground and be in a dominant position. And since he's taken the fight to the ground, he's been in a dominant position. Again, clearing that knee, staying inside control.
James Neville on top, fighting out of the red corner. Logan Dye, he has the black gloves with the red tape.
Now, Logan's got to be
Correction,
careful
blue
here
tape.
because James actually has the right arm cleared. He's looking for a Kimura. He has the grip set up. See right here, this is going to be dangerous. This is going to be dangerous. If he could sit down.
He's just so smart. Let's see if Logan Dye can push himself off the cage and get out of this.
There's going to be a lot of pressure right here. What James is doing, he's going to step over, and now there's going to be a lot
That's
more.
going to snap his arm.
Logan was able to actually straighten it out. So what James is going to do is he has to adjust here because the Kimura wasn't working. He's got to switch his grip and go for the Americana or step back over, lean back, and yank it the opposite way. And actually, that looks like what he's going to do. He's going to try to get that knee across or here we go. He's going to step him up, and now this is tough, but it's going to be hard to get this leverage without actually stepping over. You need to step over Logan's head to create the space necessary to really crank on that submission.
His arm is still tucked back in behind him. Just a bad spot for Logan Dye. Being on the ground with James Neville is nothing that you want to be doing.
No, but he did get out of a very precarious situation. Now it's just a matter of, can he get back up to his feet? Can he get out of this situation? Because as as James continues to pass his guard, there's only going to be more submission attacks. You have to exit the position to prevent this from happening further.
Neville on top, throwing blows. Logan Dye on the bottom. James Neville got the black gloves with the red tape. A lot of people here from Disciple tonight cheering on Neville as he's just trying to do some work here on Logan Dye. Trying to push down on his head, get it down on the mat. Just a smarter fighter, Charles. Just a smart dude on the mat.
Yeah, his cage generalship is excellent. And again, right here, you see he's using his right foot to try to create that opening and then clear his left foot from that half guard. And if he could get into full mount, this is going to be a dangerous position for Logan here. And he's very close to doing it. Now the only thing that Logan's holding on to is his foot, which is going to prevent some mobility from James, but he's in a bad spot. Now James is in full mount.
Let's see if Logan can get out of this, trying to get those double heels up. Neville just putting that elbow on your face, slamming him down on the mat with the upper body.
Got to be a little bit careful those shots to the back of the head. And here we're seeing a big size discrepancy. You know, Logan's just not able to create the space, and James is just able to land these big elbows. Now that's under the chin.
Let's see if he can lock that in. He'd roll over. He's got to arch that back.
Logan actually was able to tuck it. Logan was able to tuck his chin.
There.
Now, what Logan needs to do is he needs to grab the top hand. James made the transition to go palm to palm, and now it's getting a little bit closer. It's going to be very uncomfortable.
Let's see if he's got enough time.
What Logan wants to do is grab that top hand. Once he pulls that down, there you go. He's going to be able to alleviate pressure.
I don't think he's got enough time here. That's the end of round number 1 here in this main event. Logan Dye looked to be in trouble most of the fight. Most of that first round, Logan Dye had zero control over that. He did at the beginning when he's throwing blows, Charles, but the second he went to the ground, Neville took over.
Yeah, no, I mean, there was a good exchange there in the beginning, but once Neville got on top, he was driving, you know. And James has to be a little bit more cautious. He's going to want to go out there and get one back. He's going to want to hit that hard shot. He's going to want to really make it count. But he just has to be careful of overcommitting and exposing himself to the takedown. Don't let yourself get taken down to begin with. Focus on keeping the fight standing up. Use your punches, change your levels, and don't put yourself in a position where you won't be able to get out if necessary.
I mean, Logan Dye trying to see, here it is, watch this. Quick, boom, shoots in there, and you can't stop that. James Neville coming in, and this is where the weight plays a huge difference. And watch this arm trying to get tucked behind, Charles.
Very controlled grip. Very controlled grip.
And he really tries to get that Kimura just kind of moved around a little bit. All right, started round number 2. We'll get the seconds out. We'll get the cage all locked up. Main event here on GoSports.com, CageZilla 50. Been a great partnership throughout the evening. Both fighters come out. This is a difference in the weight difference now. Logan probably was like, who cares?
You know, and now Logan's he's a little hesitant with his strikes because he knows that a takedown can happen at any moment, and he doesn't want to go back there.
Very quick for a big guy is Neville.
Good leg kick, though. Good leg kick. As long as he keeps those low and to the outside, he's going to be in a decent spot to avoid those takedowns. But if he leaves it there, James will just be able to carry it, you know, catch it and take him to the ground.
Yeah,
good sprawl. Excellent sprawl from Logan. Now James is holding onto that leg, and you know what? James was able to hold onto the leg, and then he grabbed it from underneath and transitioned to a single leg. So he shot in on a double. As Logan sprawled heavy, he was almost out, but he tried to pass and take James's back, and that was where he ran into trouble, because by going to the side, James was able to grab the leg and suck it back in.
And Howard, here's the thing, though. This is where the crowd, we've seen over the years, 10+, that they start to play a little bit of a factor if it starts to get boring. They start yelling and screaming for things to happen, and there's really a big chess match going on, and people don't really understand it.
There most certainly is, and I'll tell you, every time James passes and takes side control, Logan at any moment could be in a bad spot, because James is just the way he separates the limbs and isolates, you know, potential submissions. You really have to focus on getting up. So I think I'll say that because I think the crowd can appreciate those close submission attempts as Logan tries to work his way up, and that's not going to get there for him.
Neville in the black gloves with the red tape. Logan Dye, he's on bottom. On his back, a little bit of trouble. He's got the black gloves with the blue tape. Coming up on halfway through round number 2.
Now there's a choke attempt here. This is a head and arm choke, and he got it.
Oh, he got it. It's
Very
over.
Quick.
That quick,
So
James
quick.
Neville. Unbelievable. I didn't even see it. Just a bad spot. Charles is the man because Charles could see it coming.
Yeah, well, you know what? I actually couldn't see the choke itself. I could just see James's body position. As Logan went up what's called answering the phone, you put your hand up near your ear to create space. What James did was he stepped over, and you saw him flatten out. He flattened his stomach, and he used his lats. And this is what we had seen earlier in the night that wasn't happening. This has happened in this position 3 other times tonight, and each time they failed to really get that pressure. They were going for the squeeze, whereas James used his whole body.
As
right
you
here.
see him right here, yeah.
Sucks those hips in right there, and that's the biggest difference.
And look at that quick. That quick, and you said it as he saw his hips start to lower. I heard you say, hey, watch out, he's got this, and before you can get it out of your mouth, he's tapping out. That's why Charles is here, ladies and gentlemen. If you're at home watching this, that's why he's here at GoSports.com. Charles hangs out with me just to hang out.
I mean, you're pretty cool, you know? Sometimes.
So as we make our way, and you see James Neville, now Neville is going to improve here, and you talked about maybe he could go pro. Does Neville, after this fight, think that this fight was is this something that you would do as if you were James Neville?
Yeah, look, I mean, you're now 9-2. You've held 2 different titles, one of which you've held 2 different times.
Right.
I think you're probably thinking, all right, what's next for me? Do I want to keep, going against guys who might not have my experience, or do I want to work at a different level?
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Michael Dolman has called a stop to the action. 2 minutes and 2 seconds into the second round. For your winner by head and arm choke, and new CageZilla light heavyweight champion, it's James Neville!
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for joining us tonight here on GoSports.com. They will be with CageZilla. From this point on, you can watch us live sitting wherever you are in the entire world. Tonight, the after party at Taps and Apps in Manassas. If you're a fighter, make your way over there. If you're a spectator, make your way over there. I want to thank all the sponsors that made it out tonight and all the folks back in the booth. Mike, you guys did a great job tonight. Charles, it's been great seeing you again, my man. We'll hope to see you guys back for CageZilla 51. On behalf of Kevin Schaefer and Charles Disco and Chris Fuller, good night, everybody.
Until next time.